Dumelang guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Reneilwe, I also go by the name Reni. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subby, welcome back. I really do appreciate the support. But anyways, we are in November, so obviously we're navigating towards the festive season, and it's all about gifts, it's all about giving, it's all about receiving, even if it's from yourself. So I wanted to just jump right in and start giving you guys gifting ideas. I will be creating two different kinds of videos when it comes to gifting ideas. One is going to be on DIY gifts, and the second one is going to be about gifts that you can buy somebody else. For those who are not into, hand making or creating gifts themselves, you can go and buy them. For those who are interested in making gifts by themselves or like handmade, DIY, adding that personal touch and element and that special, I don't know, something about when somebody makes something for you as opposed to just buying it, it becomes a little bit more special because the amount of time that they spent creating it. Yes, in buying a gift, there are different ways to also make that special, and I will also be sharing that in a different video. In this video, we are going to be talking about DIYs. So last week I posted a shopping haul from Shein. You guys saw a lot of silicone molds, assuming that you watched that video. If you didn't, you can quickly pause this one, reference yourself to that video, and then you can come back to this one so you can understand more or less of where I got my silicone molds or the things that I'll be using within this video. So without further ado, we're going to start off with the first thing that we DIY'd. As a Christmas gift or birthday gift, whatever. What I like about these gifts is that you can interchange them between them being Christmas gifts, anniversary gifts, birthday gifts. You cannot really put a cap on what kind of gift it can be. It's flexible enough to be a gift for anything, basically. Alright, these are the items that you guys are going to need in order to do or create this gift DIY. You could use wax and create your candles from scratch, but however, I am going to shortcut it and use pre-made fragranced pillar candles. And what I did was I pierced a hole into my silicone mold so I can loop my wick in. If you guys want to know how to prepare your candle wicks, please check out my simple DIY video. I will link it down below for you guys so that you can see why you need to prep the wick. Once my candle is done melting, I do highly recommend that you guys protect your workspace because I learned the hard way and wax went everywhere. So ensure you do that, and also make sure that you don't burn yourself and you use tools that you will not be using again for either eating or consumption or anything like that, just to be on the safe side. So what I did was I stabilized my wick, and once that was done being stabilized with a skewer, by the way, because I still haven't bought wick holders. You can also get popsicle sticks in order to keep your wick in place, but I just use a skewer, and then I poured my wax into my candle mold. So since this is a festive season themed gifting idea, you can play with colors as well. This is also nice if you're gifting somebody their favorite color. You can just give them a candle that's a certain color, so it works well. If you don't have the correct tools, wax will go everywhere. This is a messy project if you guys don't have the correct tools. I needed something that will help me pour, and I didn't, so I used a mug, so obviously the wax went everywhere. I also filled in my geo candle, and this is what it looked like in the end. Alright, this is also one for the scent lovers. We're going to be DIYing our own reed diffuser. You can buy reeds online, especially the Candle Supply SA website also sells these and other candle supplies. So you can go with any citrus that you want. I went with lemon so that it can easily fit into my bottle that I'll be diffusing in, or jar, I don't know what to call it. And then what I did was I lined my pan with parchment paper and I placed my lemons on top. I tried to slice them as thin as possible, that way the drying time doesn't take too long while I'm baking. This can go south easily because you can either burn your lemons or your citrus, so you want to keep a good eye on it. So I pet my lemons dry with a paper towel and I put my pan into the oven, obviously keeping it at 230 degrees, but I would actually adjust it as time went. All right, guys, so I asked in one of your in one of my videos, not your videos, if you guys want me to show you how to dry roses. Nobody asked, so comment down below if you want me to show you how to dry roses. So I have a bunch of dried roses. I decorate my house with dried roses. So yeah, it's the only version of roses that I like. I allow. I don't like roses in general, but I just like drying them up. So this is what I'm going to be using for the diffuser. I'm sorry, the light is on the other side. So I already have these ones. So you can also play with color if you're into that. So I'm just gonna also throw in maybe a red one. What I did was I opened up this bulb looking jar that I got from Deals, and I started throwing in my rose petals and a whole rose inside. What I realized is that the opening was so small that I had to take away a few more petals just so the rose can fit through, and it looked like this once everything was inside, obviously without the lemon. Once the lemon was done, as you can see, some of them burnt. Not all of them made it through, so I got the ones that could make it through. As you can see, I did struggle a bit with the lemon to push it in, so hence why going with an orange or something that's wider or bigger in radius could be a bit difficult for you to fit through in your diffuser. So what I did was I added sunflower oil, because it's been known that sunflower oil doesn't have a strong scent or anything like that, so you can use that as a base oil. And then I got fragrance oil. So what I like about creating this diffuser yourself is that you can go with whatever scents that you feel like going with. I simply started sniffing out all the scents, started sniffing out which ones go well together, but I landed on going with cinnamon and rose, because first of all I threw in rose petals in there, so it does kind of make sense for it to smell like a rose. And I also added that cinnamon to add a bit of spiciness to the scent, so it's not just like a simple sweet scent, because some sweet scents can be a bit of a headache when you sniff it for long. So I added that cinnamon scent to just what can I say, to basically calm the rose scent down so it doesn't get too much. And obviously I went with 30, not obvious, you don't know this, but I'm just gonna share it. I went with 30 drops in total. So if you're gonna add fragrance, go with 30 drops. I will leave the measurements in the description box as to how much base oil you should add to how much fragrance oil you should add, because they all have certain limitations. So I went through sniffing it out and figuring if I like it or not, and adjusting my fragrance levels. Added the reed diffuser, not the reed diffuser, the reeds to it. If the opening is smaller, your oil will last longer. Anyways, this is what it looked like in the end. Coming into this DIY, it has proved to be very challenging. We'll be using the same things as our bubble candle, but the difference is we're going to be using these bowls that I got from Pep Home that were very much affordable, and the wick and melting the candle, pre-made pillar candles. What I did was I measured out how long my wick should be and I cut it to size. I will disclose that this was a mistake on my end. I should have made it slightly longer because I thought I could hot glue my wick into place. But here's the thing, hot glue gun melts the glue at a certain temperature. So if you're gonna pour wax in that's at the same temperature that melts the glue gun, chances are it's gonna unstick and go back to being tacky and not dried. So that is something that I did think about, but I thought I would pour at a lower temperature, that way it doesn't get in the way. There is a different video, like I said, the simple DIY video where I actually wick my bowl very well. Reference yourself to that one because this was a mess. So as you can see, I poured my candle wax at a colder temperature and it was already basically starting to set again, and it wasn't going well. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try and fix the situation with a hairdryer. Honey, things that could go wrong just kept on increasing at this point in time, and yeah, this happened. And to think one would learn, I went back again. Like, I really can't do myself. And I go back and I really don't know. This is why I was saying protect your workspace and your work surface, because this is where everything went wrong. Look at me getting all the wax on the on the counter. This candle was going downhill. I was getting frustrated at this point in time, and I figured, you know what? Let me try and stabilize the wick, which I couldn't because the wick starts going everywhere. It doesn't want to stay in place. So I figured, let me microwave it, and that way I can have it melted all over again. And then I thought, okay, fine, let me fix the wick again, which I couldn't do. Hence why it is important that you stabilize your wick and you don't cut it just directly at the length. You will cut it directly at the length once your candle has set and it's done. What can I say, once your candle has formed and has hardened, basically. So what I did was I poured the wax into the smaller bowl and decided I'm going to create a smaller candle out of this since it's already going downhill for this big bowl. And I re-wicked my bowl all over again. This is the right way to do it. Okay, it's not the perfect way to do it, but then it's a better way to do it where your wick will be secure. And I didn't use hot glue. I used tape to tape it down to the bowl, and I restarted all over again to pour this. I just showed you guys this just to prove to you guys that not all DIYs go well. And yeah, this is me with a hairdryer again. Somebody please come get this hairdryer because wow. I'm so resilient. I cannot even learn even after burning myself with wax. So anyways, you guys have seen this mold on my Shein haul. I just poured in wax and then waited for it to set a bit, and then I started hair drying my wax so that the wax can go back to being in a liquid state, so that I can stick on these floral patterns back onto my candle. Alright, moving to this quick DIY, what I did was I melted wax, and this is a way that you can seal your envelopes when you're sending your Christmas cards, your invitations. It's a different way of sealing because we all used to the standard cards and everything like that. So this is a nice way to actually work around it. So I did melt the wax, but it was too what can I say, it was too liquidy, if that's a word. So what I did was I waited for it to get a little bit for it to set a little, but it was still easy for me to pour. And then this is how I stamped it out. I will show you this again. It was easy with the stamp, especially since the stamp doesn't stick onto the wax or anything like that. So I do like the fact that it has the stars and the moons on it. So what I did was I applied the wax onto the envelope, pressed it down with the stamp, left it for at least I'd say a minute maximum, came back and then removed the stamp head from it, and it was just fine. Even if you spend a longer time, it's not like it's going to ruin it. And this is what it looked like, and it can be an easy way to personalize stuff. Alright guys, moving on to our last but not least DIY. We're going to be creating a silicone, not a silicone, we're going to be creating a hand catch-all bowl, and we're going to be using the silicone mold that I got from Shein, and we're going to be making use of plaster of Paris. This was my first time working with it. I don't know, I was a bit nervous and excited at the same time, so I just followed the instructions that were on the packaging. Ensured that I wore a face mask because I didn't know if you could inhale this or not, but what I would highly advise you not to do is to, once you're done, to pour this down the drain, because this fast sets. It sets within 20 to 30 minutes. So the last thing you want to do is clog up your drains by pouring plaster of Paris. Rather let it harden and then throw it out in the bin than to actually pour it down the drain. So I'd advise that once you're done pouring it, tap out all the air bubbles so that they don't get trapped inside as best as you can. The air bubbles were resurfacing and it looked good. I was thoroughly shocked once everything was set because I let this stay overnight and I came back the following day and I demolded this. That sounds very, very tragic, demolding, but anyways, that's what I did. I demolded my hand catch-all, whatever you want to call it, and I was thoroughly shocked and I was excited at the same time. So you guys will get to see it now. This is one of my favorite DIYs thus far, I don't want to lie. Very surprising, outside the box, and this is what it looks like. I made this geometric candle. What I can say is I picked Christmas colors because obviously I'm going into the Christmas gifting. I do like the silicone mold, it makes it a whole lot easier. However, what I would say is, like I said in my Shein haul, it was a whole lot smaller than what I expected it to be, but I do truly love this candle. It is aesthetically pleasing. I like how it looks. It smells good. I love the cherry. It's berries, if I'm not mistaken. It's a berry scent and I enjoy it. So you could gift somebody this. I love candles because they add the scent into your home. They're not just aesthetically pleasing, but they also help the house smell good. I don't know about you guys, but I love houses that when I walk in, they smell good. And I do love when a person walks in my house and says, wow, your house smells good. It is the best compliment ever, in my opinion. Let me know what your favorite home compliment is. So moving on to our next DIY, I DIYed these bubble candles. What I like about this is that it's aesthetically pleasing. It's aesthetic of the year. Everybody loves these bubble. Okay, I'm not gonna speak for everyone, but majority of the people love these bubble candles. I do too, and they can be a bit pricey, but they become more affordable when you actually make them yourself. And what I like is you can play with colors. You can have a plain one, you can have like a Christmas themed one like I created here. I created a Christmas themed bubble, and obviously I do know that some of the people I'm going to be gifting, they're not necessarily into color. The aesthetic is more of a clean modern look, so obviously I can gift them a plain candle or, you know, simple colors. But however, I don't know, this one didn't come out right. Like it separated, or it separates from the first pour to the second pour. So I don't know if this is a temperature issue, because bear in mind, I am not a professional candle maker. When you're candle making, you're supposed to, you know, not have your wax above a certain temperature. You can only add fragrance to your wax at a certain temperature. You can only pour your candle or pour your wax at a certain temperature. So I wasn't using those temperatures. I was basically just making it simple for myself and just going with what I felt was right. So I don't know if this is the wrong pouring temperature, or if this one set, I took long to pour this one and this one had already set, so it just didn't, you know, come together. Or maybe I poured this one at a lower temperature that it couldn't kind of melt the bottom of this so they can like stick together. So I really don't know what happened with this one. So it's going to be a lot of trial and error. You just have to find your way. If not, you can just buy a thermometer and, you know, do some candle research. You can also make a candle out of a bowl. You guys saw that I got this bowl from Mr. Price Home. It was 23 rands and it has this detail on top. I don't want to lie, this was a bit of a trial and error, and yeah, it failed. The idea behind it was good. I like the idea behind it, but however, the execution fell short. So I won't be gifting this candle because, honey, no, I cannot. So I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm gonna burn it. I'm not gonna gift this. As much as I wanted to gift this, I can't gift this to anybody. This was not well made. I'm not even gonna hide the like defect on this candle. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say this looks good. This doesn't look good. The idea behind it, I'm only sharing it so that you guys can learn that sometimes when we DIY things, not everything turns out good. There's some things that do not turn out 100% as much as we'd like them to, and it's up to you to just go right ahead and try again and be resilient towards failing and not allowing to accept failure, and try different things, find different solutions. The second gift is also a bowl, candle bowl. It looks like that. You guys saw this one started going south like right from the beginning, and then I poured it out, and I poured it into this one. I guess that's why this one just went south as well. And I'm gonna be gifting this one. It's a 5-wick candle, and it smells good. It's a mixture of magnolia and the crisp scent. So the crisp scent is on top, so it's gonna be a nice sweet surprise to whoever I'm gonna be gifting this to. One moment you're burning a candle, it's gray, and then it turns white. So I hope it does give that effect. So this is another thing that you could gift somebody. It looks like a luxurious candle, especially in a bowl, and majority of the time candles like these can be very, very much expensive. And when you look at this didn't even cost me more than 100 rands to create, but candles like these do easily go for 300 rands or more. Yeah, so this is a nice thing to DIY. So coming up to the second last thing that I created, it was this diffuser. So with this diffuser, I love how it's floating. There's that lemon at the bottom, there's these rose petals floating around in there, there are roses inside there. I really do like that. It smells so good. I added cinnamon because I wanted that spicy. I think I like the spicy scent, but it mustn't be too overwhelming, so I mixed it up with the rose as well, and it actually plays off very well because the floating things inside is roses and rose petals and a bit of lemon, so it does play off well with the rose scent. So you could also do that if you're going with a lavender scent. You could just dry out your lavender leaves and throw them in, and it'll be good. But the key is always have like a smaller opening on top, that way the oils do not evaporate or you don't use too much of the oils. You could keep your diffuser for longer with a smaller opening than with a wider opening. So one thing I didn't add in here was rubbing alcohol or alcohol. Some people use vodka to do it as a binding agent, but I didn't use a binding agent. It still works out for me. This could also be a way that you can guarantee that there are no harmful, you're not diffusing any harmful products. What kind of person am I? I forgot the envelopes right there behind me where we melted the wax and then sealed them closed with the wax. That is also another way to, personalize your gifts, so that you just don't send like a Christmas card. You add that special element so they feel special when I do it myself, and then I open it and I just feel special, even though I'm the one that's actually I'm the one that sealed it and I'm the one opening it. So I can only imagine how it would make somebody else feel to know that I took the time to seal it closed. So yeah, that is another concept in DIY that you could also add. If you're just gonna give a Christmas card or a special Christmas note, it'll be a nice way to add that personal touch and set yourself apart from the usual Christmas cards that one person would probably get in that year. And then coming out to the last but not least, my favorite out of them all DIY. And mind you, come on, these are cute, but this one caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to come out the way it did. I fell in love. I'm still in love with it. And that is this hand sculpture. Look at that. Oh my gosh, guys, it's so beautiful. So there are a bit of deficiencies on it, or defects, shall I say. There are a few air bubbles locked in, but I don't find it bad or anything like that. I don't know if you can see it very well, but like there are a few air bubbles that were trapped inside, so it is good to give it like a bit of vibration or shake so that the air bubbles come up and they start popping. So this is what happened on this side. There are a bit of air bubbles. See that, like the texture is from the air bubbles that I was like shaking, like tapping them out. So do that more often. This feels so good. You could seal it so that it doesn't get dirty or catch dirt or anything like that with a clear sealer, or you could paint it as a sealer. And I love it as white, like as it is. It looks so beautiful. I love it. You can, okay, I've been having it like this, like it's been holding my bubble candle. I like it. It looks cute. I love it. But I wanted it to hold my incense sticks. I haven't bought them yet, but so far it's just gonna hold my bubble candles. So you could also gift this to somebody who likes to wear jewelry. They can throw in their jewelry in here, or as a decorative piece. I think you could also put it standing like that, I guess, but I don't know why you'd want to have it that way. But if you do, I don't know, on the TV console you could like put it on like that. It'll look nice. You can put it flat and throw your keys in as well. It could be a catch-all bowl. Like there's a lot you can do with this. These are the DIY items that we created. I hope you guys enjoyed these DIY gifts that I came up with this year. If you want these molds, you can get them from Shein. They're very much affordable. Check out my Shein haul video if you missed it, just so you can find out the prices of how much I paid for it, and also what kind of molds did I get. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video, where I will be giving suggestions to those who just simply want to buy gifts, but you also want to add that personal touch that will mean a lot to the person you're going to be giving the gift to. Don't forget to also gift yourself, because you deserve it. Don't just wait for other people to gift you. You should start doing it yourself. And I hope you guys truly enjoyed this video and love these DIYs. Comment down below on which one is your favorite. My favorite was the hand sculpture, like I already shared. You guys can tell me which one was your favorite. And anyways, I'll see you in the next video when we get into the things that we're gonna buy. And I'm bringing that video close towards Black Friday so that you guys can go for the specials as well. Look out for the specials to see if you can get some of those items on a discount. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We do create a lot of home makeovers, shopping hauls, shop with me videos, renovations, DIYs. So if you're into that kind of stuff, please do subscribe. So with that being said, don't forget to be kind, love, and light. Bye.